Hey guys, it's Sam from Dodgers Debrief, and today we're going to be talking about why the Dodgers should not trade for Indian shortstop Francisco Lindor. Yes, yes, I know it's not the fun thing to hear in the offseason, but it's the right move, and here is why. So even though Lindor just had his worst offensive season in a long time, his asking price will still be astronomical for a year rental based on his pedigree and how dynamic a player he is. So the trade package for him will probably be slightly less than what the Dodgers sent to the Red Sox for Mookie Betts, which, as you might remember, was Alex Verdugo, a very good young player. The Dodgers' top prospect, or one of them at least, Jeter Downs, and kind of an organizational player in AAA, Connor Wong, so a catcher. And obviously that ended up being a pretty significant price after the trade was renegotiated a little bit. So, of course, the Dodgers, again, only made that deal because they were very confident they could extend Mookie Betts, which they did. And as we know, went very well, worked out perfectly. Dodgers won the World Series. So, again, because of that, though, making a move like that doesn't necessarily make sense again for the Dodgers for a couple reasons. Number one is that they uh, already have the best hitting shortstop in the league, whose name is Corey Seager. I know. Trey Turner had a high OPS this season, but Seager hit more homers and has a better career track record. So I would need to see a full season from both at those levels from last year to really make a determination in that sense. But I'm comfortable for this video. Seager's, don't get me in the comments. Seager's a better shortstop right now, in my opinion, at least for the purpose of this video. So, as I said, the Dodgers have Seager, who's a free agent after 2021, just like Lindor. Assuming both were to play for the Dodgers in 2021, the Dodgers probably will not re-sign both based on their unwillingness to give out long contracts to free agents, aside from, of course, Mookie Betts. So I think it's very feasible in that case scenario. The Dodgers would give one of them a long-term contract. In that case, I'd rather just keep Corey Seager at shortstop and then lock him up for the next 8 years or so, maybe even this offseason with an extension. I think that Dodgers president of baseball operations, Andrew Friedman, is more likely to do this than sign Lindor because of his preference to keep free agents from the team and who came up in the organization, like Kenley Jansen and Clayton Kershaw, for instance. The Dodgers also want to save money for Cody Bellinger and Walker Buehler in a few years when they reach free agency as well. We want to definitely be able to keep them around and keep this championship core intact for a long time, as it is built to last, and all the players are very young. So Lindor, yes, is a great player, but he doesn't really have a spot in the Dodgers' financial future and on the roster. Additionally, Seager plays shortstop, so does Lindor, and that, aside from just financial stuff, creates an issue, as you might know. It just doesn't really make sense because even if the Dodgers move Seager to third to make room for Lindor to play short, what would you do about Justin Turner? Not re-signing him isn't really an option, in my opinion, based on his clubhouse leadership and elite hitting. The DH in the National League is far from a guarantee in 2021, and I don't really think Turner playing first base, even though he said he would, is a feasible option because it just kind of messes up the rest of the infield dynamic with Max Muncy, Chris Taylor, Gavin Lux. Like it just doesn't make sense to change things up that much without any pressure really on the team this year to make that trade. So if you needed any more evidence that this trade does not make sense, we can look at this proposed trade by MLB.com. It sort of sizes up the market for Lindor and kind of can give an example of what he might cost. So were we to trade for just Francisco Lindor, just 1 year of a shortstop, the Indians would get right-handed pitcher Dustin May, first baser outfielder Matt Beatty, and outfielder Cody Thomas. That is a huge price. May is under contract for a ton of years left as he just finished up his rookie season. And I know the advanced stats were not as good as the surface level stats, and that's mainly because he wasn't striking out a lot of guys because he only threw his fastball. But as the season progressed, he got a lot better with that. He started striking out, I believe, a little more than one batter per inning. So that isn't likely to be a problem, as he can easily develop his breaking pitch, which, as you've seen, is effective when it's good. Matt Beatty also is, I think, too valuable to give up. In addition, I think by himself, obviously, he's a replaceable player, but I also, am attached to him because it's very clutch, and he's been part of the team for a little bit here, as well as Cody Thomas, who we might remember from spring training. He hit 1 million home runs, it seemed. And yeah, it just doesn't make sense here. It's too much for only 1 year of even any player. Just it's 1 year of Lindor, and it just doesn't make sense to give up this much of the Dodgers' future for that. So MLB.com has the Dodgers is saying no for sure with this trade. As they cite, the freedom to move Seager to third and have both Lindor and Seager in the same lineup is intriguing, yes. The Dodgers already have exactly a star caliber shortstop on the roster without giving up anything. As well as, yeah, there's some other stuff there, but this is, yeah, it just doesn't make sense based on the price and the financials. So yeah, as we've seen this for a lot of reasons, this trade does not make sense. There's no spot for Lindor on the team or really in the Dodgers' future plans financially and positionally, and the price to get trade for him for 1 year will be too high anyways based on what the Indians want, and we can see that the Dodgers aren't willing to pay this price because they've been rumored to be talking with the Indians about a trade for the past few years for Lindor, and nothing has happened because the price has been too high. And again, the Dodgers just won their first World Series in 32 years and are in the middle of one of the greatest runs in postseason history and regular season history, obviously. They should really be focusing on solidifying their dynasty by extending players and adding supplementary pieces wherever they need to, as we've seen with moves like signing A.J. Pollock and Blake Trinan. The pressure's off the Dodgers. They don't need to make a big trade again. They've already done that. They've already signed the player. They've got their guy, Mookie Betts. The Dodgers are world champions. There's no need to make a big move, especially when it doesn't make a ton of sense. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe for similar videos in the future, and maybe even share this video with your friends who are also interested in the Dodgers and baseball as a whole. I'd also be remiss if I didn't plug my blog where I write similar content to this video, and that's DodgersDebrief.com. That's linked in the description. See you guys in the next video.